West Africa is king when it comes to cocoa. The entire world has a love affair with chocolate. And without cocoa, chocolate is a no-go. African nations dominate the global cocoa trade, with Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Cameroon, and Nigeria producing 70% of the cocoa beans consumed globally. But that taste for chocolate is proven an expensive habit. And some analysts say the price of the sweet stuff may soon be twice what it was because the cost of the raw material is only going upwards. The price of a ton of cocoa has increased almost fivefold since late 2023. So how does that compare to other objects of desire, say microchips? Since the start of the year, cocoa prices have even outperformed shares in the world's leading computer chip giant, Nvidia. So what's driving prices so high? Take a look at Ghana, the world's second largest producer, facing a catastrophic harvest in a deepening cocoa crisis. Producers have seen a wave of illegal gold mining wiping out their trees, with many deciding just to sell their plots. Climate change is also doing its damage. Ghana has slashed its cocoa forecast this year because of hotter, drier weather. That's boosting one thing: the cocoa industry's equivalent of the COVID pandemic, a viral disease that ruins yields before it kills the trees completely.
So if the trees are being affected or infected by this viral disease, it weakens their ability to bear flowers, let alone having fruits on it. So if it's not coming, it means therefore also that we are also losing supporting the national quota of the kind of bees that we supply into the system. And in the process, it's costing us.
Cameroon is Africa's third largest cocoa producer. And one farmer there said, cocoa season is a season of cash. Cocoa provides about 90% of the income for rural communities involved in its production. DW's Blazer Young spoke to a farmer in the village of Lome in Cameroon's littoral region who is turning his cash crop into consumer goods.
Nkweta Njelifek has come to a local furniture shop to spend the profits from his last cocoa bean sale. He's checking on the progress of a new bed he's ordered for his wife. It's costing him 70,000 francs, around $115. That's about twice the monthly minimum wage in Cameroon.
It was not easy. I could not just make a bed that can cost 70,000. But with the increase in cocoa and the harvesting that I've done, the cocoa that I've sold, I'm able to make a bed for 70,000. I'm seeing the bed like this. I'm very, very happy.
Over the past year, the smallholder's 2-hectare cocoa plantation here in the village of Loom has brought in 5 times more money than he ever did before. Cameroon's cocoa prices went up dramatically after harvest slumped in Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. This is motivating him. Nkweta is cleaning his farm in preparation for the next harvest season.
Since the price has gone up, it has really benefited me a lot because I've sold so much cocoa, and that have helped to increase my income and even increase my standard of living.
Though farmers in Cameroon have also suffered prolonged dry and wet seasons, they are better off compared to producers elsewhere in Africa. Monte Harry is a member of the Cameroon Cocoa and Coffee Board.
I think this is a one-time experience that we are having in the sector, where the farmer is capable of, saying confidently that the price that is receiving for the work that is done is beneficial and very encouraging to him. It's a dream come true, and I think the farmers can live from the labors of their hands.
But there's one drawback. The rising cocoa price means farmers like Nkweta have to constantly be on their guard against thieves.
These people that they used to go to the farm, that they want to go and look for snakes, in the night, and then they end up harvesting the cocoa. So we are like looking for some measures, like creating some groups to like monitoring the roots that are coming from the farm, like to really safeguard our cocoa and our farms.
Many farmers had given up growing cocoa because of high production costs and low incomes. Now they are coming back, some like Nkwenta, and planting new trees in hope that their cocoa will remain a crop that brings in cash.
Joining me now is Kristy Leissle, researcher, author, consultant in the cocoa and chocolate industries. Welcome to the program, Kristy. Now, we've just seen farmers in Cameroon benefiting from the soaring global price of cocoa. But in Ghana, cocoa farmers are struggling. What's causing this difference?
I think a few things are causing the difference. So, one is definitely a price-related issue. So in Ghana, the producers, the farmers, operate on a fixed price market, which means that the price that they receive for their cocoa is set by the government. And while the government did raise the price that they received, thanks to the skyrocketing cocoa prices globally, they raised it by 58%, which is a significant increase in producer price. That it's still, it is still limited to that amount. And so even if the global market price were to go up higher, I doubt that it would, but even if it were to happen, the farmers would still be receiving that price for their cocoa. So they are limited in terms of their income because of the price setting by the government.
So what's stopping the Ghanaian government from making farmers benefit from the high prices also?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so again, they did raise the producer price and they raised it by 58%, which is a really big increase. But I think what's stopping them from raising the price higher is that the Ghana government, through their marketing board, Ghana Cocoa Board, actually does a lot of work to protect and support their crop. And so Ghana beans are known globally to be the highest quality bulk cocoa beans on the market because the farmers know how to ferment their beans very well. They know how to dry them very well. The flavor of Ghana cocoa is essentially the flavor of chocolate as we know it. And so, Ghana Cocoa Board has to work really hard to protect that reputation and protect the quality of their crop. And that costs money. So, there is a portion of their cocoa exports that they retain the proceeds from that in order to do this work of protecting and maintaining their national supply.
Quite a balancing act there. Unfortunately, it's the farmers that are struggling and they are not really getting the benefit from this. There's overall high demand for cocoa, but factors like climate change is affecting production, decreasing supply, which makes it more expensive. So how long can the farmer in Cameroon, for instance, benefit from this situation where, because of the high prices, they are making money from it?
They'll benefit as long as the supply scenario lasts. And we are in a really dramatic moment in terms of cocoa supply. So I was in Ghana a few weeks ago, and the farmers I spoke with there were harvesting about a third of their normal harvest. And so that is a really, really dramatic fall in cocoa supply. And that is due to a number of factors, climate change being a big one, the El Nino cycle that we're currently in causing drought conditions in West Africa, another big one. But of course, all of these conditions add up to a market where you have really high prices. So I think the farmers in Cameroon will benefit as long as we see this really constrained supply scenario. But at the same time, if they also are experiencing the same kind of a third or half of their normal harvest, of course, they're only earning those higher prices on much less crop. So there's always the equation to take into account. How much are you growing and multiply that by the price? And so it's a very complicated market situation.
Definitely sounds complicated. I mean, so we know the challenge. What can be done urgently to address the challenges and try to turn things around?
That is such a great question. And I think it's the question that's been kind of hanging over the cocoa industry for many years now, because there is no substitute for cocoa. We have some initiatives now to create chocolate bars using other kinds of things, not naturally grown cocoa on trees, but generally there is no other substitute that we have. So I think if the chocolate industry wants to protect their product, which is beloved around the world, then they need to pay some serious attention to improving farmer livelihoods. And that probably is going to come with a supply chain analysis that moves more money to the farmers in whatever way that needs to happen. Because of course, cocoa doesn't just fly from a farm, into a chocolate factory. There's many, many middlemen and traders in between who all have to stay in business as well. They all need to take their cut. But we need a serious, reevaluation of how money moves through the supply chain and how we can concentrate more of those financial resources at the farmer end.
Right. Kristy Leissle, researcher, author, consultant in the cocoa and chocolate industries. Thank you very much for your time.
What a pleasure. Thank you.